Business hoping to be made whole again after being destroyed by is now getting backlash from the community. In an interview you'll see only on Wink News, the South Seas Resort CEO tells us what he would like for his business in terms of building height. For the last few weeks, people on Captiva have been pushing back against Lee County as they may change the building's height code for South Seas. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Russ McCaskey.
I'm Amanda Hall. Now the CEO, Greg Spencer, is setting the record straight and only on Wink News. Gulf Shore business editor David Dorsey brings us that exclusive interview.
One of the owners of South Seas Island Resort wanted to talk to me to clear up what he called misinformation that's spreading on Sanibel and Captiva and across Lee County. First, in wake of Hurricane Ian, South Seas mobilized to help neighbors in need. South Seas spent millions of its own money. Second, the resort has not asked for a zoning change. And third, resilience must be a driving force for our community's redevelopment. Greg Spencer is the CEO of the Timbers Company, which owns luxury resorts around the world, including properties in Tuscany, Italy, and Hawaii. Spencer tells me he wants South Seas to measure up to those, and he says he does not want to build sky high like many on Sanibel and Captiva fear.
We have no desire to do 6 or 7 stories. I've heard rumors of 75 feet. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that the height calculation starts at whatever's permittable.
Spencer told me he wants to build 3 stories instead of the current 2 and have about 175 hotel rooms instead of 107. But that's the rub. Many Sanibel and Captiva neighbors cringe at the thought of South Seas going any higher. Before the hurricane, the resort was 7 feet off the ground with its 2 stories topping off at 35 feet. But now, federal government guidelines demand South Seas build its first story 18.5 feet off the ground, keeping everything else the same, adding 2 stories on top. That could mean a new South Seas might go as high as 46 to 47 feet. 3 stories would be in the ballpark of 60 feet. Spencer would not specifically say how high he wants South Seas to go. What's important to note, if Lee County tells him South Seas cannot go higher than the current 35 feet, the resort would actually lose half a story of space.
The problem is people are so focused on what is the developer doing, they're not putting themselves in the shoes of what happened if that was my house. And the issue on height applies to everybody in the county.
The hotel's roof ruptured during Hurricane Ian, filling rooms with water, which later filled the rooms with mold, rendering the building beyond all repair. Spencer told me he wants to work with the public to appease their concerns.
You know, clearly now there's enough just misinformation and misunderstanding that we do have to talk to the community. And I'm certainly having no problem being out front and having those meetings and talking with the community.
Lee County commissioners are expected to take up the issue of what to do at South Seas during its meeting at 9:30 a.m. Tuesday. I'm David Dorsey with Gulf Shore Business.
David, thanks. And for the very latest business news, text GB to 239-498-8500 for a free magazine subscription.